Everybody make some noise. All right. So like every year, we select a golden ticket winner. Kaze here, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're going to be watching the Ubisoft press conference.
Yes, we are pretty much at showtime,
They're
so
about
that means
10 minutes
off,
early.
no smoking, which
Here,
means
they
no
were already
cigarettes, vape pens,
putting some
that you vape, just, you know, keep it outside, 'cause this is
pre-show
California with
content
kids
on
people,
here
but smoking a
that
cigarette will get you
probably
honeyed in quinoa.
not worth
Well, I must say
watching.
that I kind of enjoyed that yesterday, but that's a different story. Everybody make some noise. All right. So like every year, we select a golden ticket winner. Kaze here, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're going to be watching the Ubisoft press conference.
Yes, we are pretty much at showtime,
They're
so
about
that means
10 minutes
off, no
early.
smoking, which
Here,
means
they
no
were already
cigarettes, vape pens,
putting some
that you vape, just, you know, keep it outside, 'cause this is California
pre-show
with
content
kids
on
people,
here
but smoking a
that
cigarette will get you
probably
honeyed in quinoa.
not worth
Well, I must say
watching.
that I kind of enjoyed that yesterday, but that's a different story.
The bar has been set really low for streams, so in
guidance of the very well educated staff.
all Ubisoft really has to do is announce 5, maybe 6.
Everybody make some noise. All right. So like every year, we select a golden ticket winner. Kaze here, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're going to be watching the Ubisoft press conference.
Yes, we are pretty much at showtime,
They're
so
about
that means
10 minutes
off, no
early.
smoking, which
Here,
means
they
no
were already
cigarettes, vape pens,
putting some
that you vape, just
Everybody make some noise. All right. So like every year, we select a golden ticket winner. Kaze here, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're going to be watching the Ubisoft press conference.
Yes, we are pretty much at showtime,
They're
so
about
that means
10 minutes
off, no
early.
smoking, which
Here,
means
they
no
were already
cigarettes, vape pens,
putting some
that you vape, just, you know, keep it outside, 'cause this is California
pre-show
with
content
kids
on
people,
here
but smoking a
that
cigarette will get you
probably
honeyed in quinoa.
not worth
Well, I must say
watching.
that I kind of enjoyed that yesterday, but that's a different story.
The bar has been set really low for streams, so in
guidance of the very well educated staff.
all Ubisoft really has to do is announce 5, maybe 6 games.
Everybody make some noise. All right. So like every year, we select a golden ticket winner. Kaze here, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're going to be watching the Ubisoft press conference.
Yes, we are pretty much at showtime,
They're
so
about
that means
10 minutes
off, no
early.
smoking, which
Here,
means
they
no
were already
cigarettes, vape pens,
putting some
that you vape, just, you know, keep it outside, 'cause this is California
pre-show
with
content
kids
on
people,
here
but smoking a
that
cigarette will get you
probably
honeyed in quinoa.
not worth
Well, I must say
watching.
that I kind of enjoyed that yesterday, but that's a different story.
The bar has been set really low for streams, so in
guidance of the very well educated staff.
all Ubisoft really has to do is announce 5, maybe 6 games that are actually interesting and not do anything horribly Ubisoft-like. And it'll be the probably second best stream so far. It might even beat PlayStation if PlayStation shows Sony has a terrible showing later tonight. Of course, it almost certainly couldn't be as bad as the Digital Devolver stream, which had nothing to do with video games and was a ridiculous Adult Swim-esque collection of footage of comedy bits that weren't really funny. Big waste of time, honestly. And let's see, I needed to change this name and I didn't. Let's see.
Oh, we're getting hooked up over here.
So that stream is going to be announced as the wrong thing. This is the Ubisoft press conference, not. So when you change the name on YouTube streaming, since I'm new to this, it seems to also reset your chat. Speaking of chat, not a ton of people have gotten on chat for these conferences, which is probably not a huge surprise, really, considering.
From South Park, how you doing?
And we're going to South Park now.
So you guys had an
how do you expect them to treat the
expect
story in Far Cry 5 seriously and maturely,
particularly
since they haven't treated any of the previous Far Cry stories that seriously or maturely?
Can you let us know about that?
Sure. So it's
So
the local strip.
I would bet that Far Cry 5 irritates a lot of the more conservative United States areas.
It was an authentic strip club experience, so the whole editorial team has been flying around the world, going to every strip club.
See, this guy is
sending me reference,
joking about how
making it rain for immersive games.
I got it.
How they all went to strip clubs to make
Awesome. All right.
South Park.
So, Dan, you had an announced last week for
All
Far
right.
Cry 5.
So when you talk about a lack of
one
being
the things I've
serious
noticed is that every time
and
you
being
go out on
professional
stage, you look
and undercutting
super calm. Does it get
the
easier
ability
year
to
after
look
year?
serious and professional, how does this play
I'm dying on
into
the inside, dude.
I think we're all definitely feeling the
how
nerves,
does this
even all
play
of us here
into
backstage.
Assassin's
So
Creed
a lot of
Origins,
people work on Far
which is
Cry.
a serious
Is there anything
game?
that you'd like to say to all the teams here in the theater, maybe?
Now when the
And everyone
video
at home
messes
in
up
Ubisoft
like
Montreal
that,
and around the world?
that's an
It's,
internal
you know,
camera
games are a labor
issue
of
or a
love, and the teams
bitrate
are
issue.
big,
It's
and
certainly
they
not a
put in
streaming
ton of
issue.
effort, and I just want to say thank you to everybody on Far Cry. It's totally worth it, and the game looks amazing.
Fantastic. All right. Let me just take that opportunity. We've said hi to our communities. I want to say hi to everyone at Ubisoft World. I know you're watching. You're up late around the world watching this. So hi to everyone at Ubisoft World. Now, the devs seem to be ready. Leon?
Are you guys ready in the theater? No, 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 no! Come on!
This is the first of the conferences where they've really tried to get people to applaud and chat. So I feel,
So one last time, if you
in
wanna
looking
get
at
out
this
into the
audience, it
community,
feels like
use the hashtag UBE3, and I think
most
there's
of the
only
people
one
here
person
are
appropriate to start
not
this show.
actual gaming
CEO
press.
and co-founder of Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot. Everyone, please, Yves Guillemot.
That they feel like they're.
Yves, I believe the
What
honor
would
is
be
yours.
the
Would you do
right
the honors,
phrase?
please?
Just gamers, just maybe streamers. Here we go. Rating pinning to mature, which again, that's wrong. It is not like rating pinning is below mature. Rating pinning is above adults only, which is above mature. And yet they use this logo to imply that some of their games might be below mature, and I don't know if any of the ones they announce are actually going to be. Nobody seems to even care anymore about putting out a game below mature. Here's an example of a game that should be below mature. So, the rumored Raving Rabbids Mario Switch game crossover. Is finally getting actually announced. What the game actually is, I'm not sure. Frankly, I'm still not sure that a lot of parents would want their kids playing a Raving Rabbids game because they're rambunctious, bad influences.
We've always wondered what could happen
their stream is bad. I'm watching this on Twitch, but I've done 2 Twitch streams before this, and I've had no problem whatsoever. Let's see, I can double check just to make sure nothing else is playing.
Unexpected encounter. It is my great honor to welcome a very special guest, someone I truly admire.
Okay, another stream was playing.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Slightly surprising that they got Shigeru Miyamoto to show up, but I guess you have to kind of expect that, don't you?
thank you for coming. We are so happy to have you today.
So it's Mario with a gun,
What have you brought?
which is already kind of away from Mario.
This is
It's really far away from Mario.
life-size replica of one of the weapons from this game.
Wow. Cool.
So
I'm
you're
sure
already
you love it.
using guns in Mario games, which
For you.
Mario
Okay.
has never had a gun, to my knowledge, ever before.
So,
Specifically because I didn't want him to be like that.
so let's take a peek.
And that seems like a completely out of character violation.
ほら、ね、ゴーストリーコンのとちょっと違うでしょ
These are a little bit different from the weapons you see in Ghost Recon.
可愛いでしょ
Yeah, very different weapons for very different worlds. This one is, I think, very effective in the world of Mario and Rabbit. So,
See,
should do well.
this kind of feels like a attempt to get the small audience away from Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
I'm so proud of Ubisoft
Not that there was a
long-standing collaboration with
huge
Nintendo.
audience there
From
anyways.
the DS to the Wii, and more recently for the impressive launch of the Switch. You know, it has always been, we have always been inspired by Nintendo and by all the great work you have been able to do.
そうですね、本当にいつも
This might spell the beginning of the end, both
Yes, thank you very much
for
all the
either
work we've been able to do together over the years
Ubisoft
with
or Nintendo or both.
I mean, Yves, it's already been about 25 years since you and I first met.
Using Nintendo things in Ubisoft games is a lowering of the quality of Nintendo elements and hurts Nintendo.
And every year at E3, you're
Ubisoft
kind enough to invite me to
using
your booth, and we get to take lots of
Nintendo
pictures
things
and
doesn't
videos,
really
and
increase
I've
the
even
Ubisoft
recorded
quality
messages
because
for
it's not
Ubisoft
their
employees in the past.
product, and I don't think they're going to do anything cool with it.
So over the years, I've always felt the deep, heartfelt passion that Ubisoft developers have for Nintendo and its characters.
それは一方でね、僕は同じ
I don't know what they're talking about. I've never seen anything like that, but I may have just not been paying any
But on the
attention.
other hand, because we're both software developers, we've also looked at each other as kind of rivals and tried to see who could make the best software.
けどまあイブさんからラビッツの人形をもらったりいろいろして僕の席の前にもラビッツがいっぱいあるんですけども。
This would be the one case where I'd be fine.
But of
I'm
course, I've
happier
known the
with
Rabbids characters for many
having
years, and I have many
pre-recorded
Rabbids figures decorating my
footage
desk.
and interviews.
So I've always been a fan
I'd
of the
rather
characters
have
and their humor.
Miyamoto just show up on a video and talk and then have them dub
So
his
since
voice.
this project first started, I've been very excited
Then they have
see
to
what
sit
kind of
here
humor
and
the Rabbids could bring
watch
to
him
Mario
speak in
World.
his native language and then see it hear it translated.
ダビデさんに一つだけお願いしたんです。
But
So
it's
when I
not
met,
worth
Davide
flying them out
San,
here,
who
putting
is
them on
the,
stage
creative director of this
and
game.
then taking up everybody's
Yes.
time.
When
But
I-
this might be
when I met
the whole
Davide San, I
intent
had
is to waste
just one
time because they
condition for this
don't have
project.
enough
絶対こうジャンプ
things
する
to
ゲームと
announce.
かそういうプラットフォームゲームじゃなくてマリオで今まで作ったことのないジャンルのゲームを作ってほしいとお願いしました
I said, whatever you do, don't try to make a jump game or a Mario platformer. Try to make a Mario game that has never been made before.
よかったですね
And it's great.
And I can tell you, it was an exciting, very exciting challenge for all our teams.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, I
I
believe it's Electronic Arts, by the
Thank you very
way,
much
so
for giving us the chance
it wouldn't be a
to perform.
cannibalizing of Ubisoft's current properties.
ヨーロッパで作るとこんなものができるのかとかね。
This also probably is
ユービアさん
the
やっぱりアクションゲーム
only thing right now that they could get
こうストラテ
to run on the
ストラテジーゲーム
Switch.
っていうもののちゃんとこうテンポのいいゲームが出来上がりました。
if you want to look at
So,
it
of course,
from
because
that
the game is being
perspective.
made in Europe, it has a very
So,
unique flavor to it.
you can
And
almost
of course, Ubisoft is very good at
assume
making
that
action games,
everything
but
else
this game in
announced right
particular
now
has a great layer
will either
of
come
strategy
out
and
on
tactics
Switch
to it,
later
but with a
in
very
a
good pace.
poor
Yeah, no,
port
it's going to be fresh,
version, something
actually,
that doesn't
so
run that well,
now
look that
let's
good, or
welcome
just doesn't come to
Xavier,
Switch
you
at
know,
all.
the producer of the game, and he will show us the
Which
game.
again gets back to the age level. Like,
Thanks again.
if all of these are mature games, you're not gonna have a huge market on the Switch anyways. This, of course, won't be a mature game, but
Finally, we can talk about this project. So we've been working on this game for more than 3 years now, and to be at E3 today, on this stage, is just super exciting. So, what is this game exactly? So Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is a tactical adventure, exclusive for the Nintendo Switch, and let's check right away some gameplay.
show me some gameplay, yes. I have no idea what you mean by tactical adventure. You just put random words together.
So the rabbits
is it like
have been teleported into
Mario
the Mushroom
RPG?
Kingdom, and it made the world
You walk
completely
around the
unstable
world?
and chaotic. So Mario, as a true hero, wants to save the day.
And you
But this time,
start
with some new
in
friends.
conflicts and probably go into a fight mode.
And at first, they don't really know each other, but in the end, they will form this dream team that will potentially save the Mushroom Kingdom.
Yeah, it seems like an exact ripoff of like Super Paper Mario or Mario All, not Mario All Stars, but Mario RPG, I think is what it's called. So they're effectively in a different world, and so the story won't connect to any of the other Mario stories that don't usually connect anyways.
And as
but
the game is
you could kind
a
of
turn-based
pretend like
tactical
that.
adventure game, combat is a really big part of the concept. So you'll fight wave
It doesn't
after wave
seem
of
like
rabbits
you
that
get
somehow turn
random
bad.
battles.
And what we see here is just the very beginning of the game, so it will be perfect to talk about the combat basics. So the two flags you see on the screen here is to tell you this is a battlefield zone. So you switch from exploration mode to battle mode.
Oh, interesting.
The blue zone is your zone of movement, so you move anywhere you want in that zone. But you can also use...
So
other
it's a
ingredients, such as,
tile-based
covers,
strategy
protection.
game,
So Rabbit Luigi
kind of like
here using half
XCOM.
cover or full cover. And we also have what we call team jump.
I guess that's where the
So by jumping near your
tactical
teammates,
concept
you can
comes
expand
in.
your zone of movement. So here, Rabbit Peach, using Mario, she's able to flank the enemy. So you can also attack the enemy behind that cover and expose them by destroying that cover. Which
You know, honestly, that the ability
for
to
next turn,
destroy
will
cover
be open
in
for,
a tactical
attacks. And last
game
but
is
not
probably a
least,
good
techniques. So from
addition.
defensive ones like Rabbit Peach,
Probably makes
shield
it
boost,
easier.
or offensive ones like Mario's Hero Sight. He's able to attack the enemy even if it's
Looks
not
like
his
you have
turn, as
3
soon as the
special
enemy moves.
abilities and probably a default attack.
So this is a very core aspect of the game itself. So you mix and match attack.
Yeah, if you
options,
don't like what
movement
you're seeing right
abilities,
now, you'll
techniques.
probably not
But we
have
also
no reason to play the game.
Other ingredients such as pipes, rabbit pipes. So those give you a good move to flank the enemy. So here, for example, Rabbit Luigi goes into the pipe, out of the pipe, dash the enemy, goes for Mario, team jump, land behind the enemy in one single movement sequence, and then finish off the enemy. And what we see here is actually explosive cover. So those have many type of super effects, and this one was a push effect. So you can push heroes or enemies out of the boundaries. So again, this is just a glimpse into the basics of the game. And as you progress into the game, you have more tactic tools. You'll be able to do more combo setups. You'll be able to use different type of heroes, different type of weapons.
What I feel like this is missing is it's missing the Paper Mario RPG elements. I don't think you're going to level up. I don't think you're going to unlock new abilities as much as you would in a regular RPG. Well, that is a skill tree they just showed me, and it seemed like there was a decent amount of abilities if each of the 4 characters you play as are like that. That seems like a decent collection of abilities. It does get back to a problem with the having only 4 characters.
That's just a glimpse into the game itself.
Some of the Paper Marios, you switch characters around.
This is a project done with passion, with our hearts. So it would not exist otherwise. So we just can't wait for you guys to try the game at E3 this week.
Honestly, it looks like maybe a failed Valkyria Chronicles game that they reskinned.
Have a great E3. Thank you.
It could have been, or it could be on the same engine. To get back to what I was saying though, if Ubisoft was ever going to do anything with their rabbits and make that a beloved characters, kind of, they're really rip-offs of the Minions in the Despicable Me movies. If they were going to try to expand that and have a series of Rabbids games that all of which were known for being as good as Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3 were, and Super Mario World 64 and Super Mario Galaxy, and how many Mario games are out there that are all consistently of good quality. If Ubisoft was going to do that with Rabbids, they can't do it by having Mario there as a comparison. In fact, this kind of kills the Rabbids when you think about it, because what do you do next time you want to make a Rabbids game that doesn't have Mario in it? You're going to be disappointing people. And I can't overstress how much having guns violates the core tenets of a Mario game. Like, if we start seeing guns, alright, so Luigi's Mansion, Luigi had a vacuum cleaner. That's true, but that wasn't a gun. If Nintendo games start having guns in Mario games, not only is that going to ruin the Mario series in an amazingly terrible way, but it's gonna cause their sales to go down. Feels like too many people are applauding and they're moving the camera over too many people. Well, it also feels like this is a smaller conference room.
A long time to say that. Almost 10 years ago,
we've already seen a trailer from the Xbox stream of Assassin's
And
Creed
we fell in love
Origins.
again when it took
So
us
we
to the
want
Italian
more
Renaissance.
detail or a different,
Over the years, this amazing series has taken
different
us
view.
to the American Revolution, the French Revolution, Victorian London, and of course, to the Republic of Pirates. For the 10-year anniversary of Assassin's Creed, for our
their
fans,
cameras are messing
for
up.
ourselves,
Their
for all
TriCaster
newcomers,
that they're using
we wanted
is
to go back
not set up right. I
very
don't
far
think.
back to show how it all began.
They've painted
over the last 3.5
themselves into
years,
one
we
corner
have poured our
of
energy,
a
our
four-corner
talent, our
room,
passion
I would say,
into bringing the land of pyramids,
by
pharaohs,
releasing
and mummies to life,
Assassin's Creed
to bring
Origins.
ancient Egypt to life.
Probably two corners of a four-corner
Egypt
room, because
challenged us.
we
Fundamentally
kind of
challenged us to
know
reinvent what it means to
they
be
can't go
Assassin's
too
Creed.
much
And over
ahead
the next few
of
days, you will see,
modern day
play,
time.
and feel
I don't think
this reinvented experience.
we're ever going to see an Assassin's Creed set
I
in
am
the
honored
distant future
and proud
with
to be
sci-fi
here
stuff.
representing the
That's
amazing work
what Watch
of a
Dogs kind of is.
phenomenal team.
And Watch Dogs
I'm
is
thrilled
not even the distant
to finally be
future.
able to show you
It's just the
this
near future.
beast we have been building.
So they can't
Without
do
further ado,
current
here's a
time
taste of Egypt.
or past current time. And now they can't do any Assassin's Creed game set before this point in time. And the pyramids are, at least two of the pyramids are being shown, which puts the time frame of this Egyptian society not so far back in history. So they're gonna eventually run out of time frames. You could certainly go to different areas at the same time frame, but remember, Assassin's Creed is also about ancient aliens at its core in its crazy story. So there will have been flashbacks and videos of a society before time where ancient aliens existed with humans, and they had all kinds of technology and magic, and that's what the Pieces of Edens are. But I seriously doubt they'd ever go back that far and put a full game in there. They might do a sequence. And they don't really want to continue that story or pay any attention to that. So the realistic bet is this is the earliest time frame, and
treat, let's check in with home base, where
present
we're gonna get a
day
glimpse
is
of what you'll
probably
see
the
right after the
latest time frame, if we ever even make it to present day. They also, at one point, it's a bit of a spoiler, predicted and said that the entire world ends and only a few people survive
of Egypt. This
in
is
the
the demo that
future.
we'll be showing on the show floor here at E3. Bayek is riding into the Fayum, one of the regions in Egypt, the most
I
southern
suppose they could go
region.
crazy
It's
and
a
do
beautiful
different
area. We see we've come in
dimensions,
from the
or
desert,
just
moving
undercut
towards
everything
the Lake Morris,
they've said is
and, let's have a
true
little exploration around
in
here using
Assassin's
our
Creed.
It's sunny on the lake and it's sunny on the monitor here, but
This
folks,
is
this looks
a
really good. It's running
really
on Xbox
bad
One
way to
X.
show a
We're giving you
game,
the gameplay
and
feed after
clearly
the show.
it's
We've got 30
been
minutes
staged
of
and
that
rigged
coming
this
up, but,
way
let's see if
to
you can see
hide
from a bird's eye view what Sanu was
problems,
up to.
either low
Yeah, so Sanu is,
resolution or
looking into this
bad
military camp
frame
and
rate
tagging a few enemies
of
here.
this
After the show, we
gameplay
will infiltrate this
that
camp and take it out either
we
through
don't
stealth
know
or
if it's really
combat or
gameplay
perhaps
that's
ranged
happening
weaponry.
live, or if this
Alright,
is
if you guys
footage.
want to see more of this, be sure to tune in right after the conference. Chris and I and Carl here will be
We
right
do
here,
know
and
that
Ash will be joining us as well. You won't want to miss it.
That 30 minutes live gameplay feed is coming up after the show, but for now, it's back to the stage and on with the excitement.
In Origins, you'll be able to control
it for
the
now.
eagle and use it as a
Thank you.
spotting device.
So, don't forget that you can watch this demo in its entirety after the conference, live stream from our home base. And for those of you here at E3, please come to the Ubisoft booth, where you can live this new experience of Assassin's Creed. Thank you very much.
I suppose you could probably have something like Brotherhood, where in Origins he establishes and builds the Assassins group and has people helping you out. But we haven't seen any gameplay of that. It seems more like Bayek will be the only character. And the rumors of there being 2 playable characters seems to be untrue. So they've taken a step backward from the previous Assassin's Creed game where you could play as a male or female character and gone back to just playing as one character. Now we've already seen a Need for Speed announcement and a Forza announcement. It seems like each of the big players had a different racing game they wanted to announce. I don't know what kind of racing game this is. It seems like you can fly. It seems like you can bike, you can drive. Then you can share and get likes and follows, and I don't know if that's an in-game mechanic or what. I'd be very, very wary of a game that claims to have a engine that can have you drive, fly, and bike, and it all play well. Like, I would be particularly very wary to play this game, just based on this trailer. Like, if you were going to try to sell a game like this, I would say sell me on the driving part, which is going to be by far the most popular thing that would sell. And then do a one more thing like an Apple press conference and say, oh, by the way, we also allow you to fly and drive boats and drive bicycles. The Crew 2. So maybe I'll check out The Crew. Of course, any Ubisoft game I play requires me to put it in Uplay. It's awful.
Thank you.
Extra
2 years
layer
back,
of
The Crew took the driving
DRM
genre
launchers
out there to the big, wide, open world of the USA. Thanks to our players, we have taken this iconic vision to the next level. They showed us what they liked and what they wanted to see in the futures. Now, it's time to take it way beyond driving. I am Stéphane Bellet, Creative Director. This is The Crew 2. Yeah, thank you.
I feel like he doesn't speak enough English.
Here in the US,
He may just have memorized the speech phonetically.
Agier than anywhere else in the world.
Again, a good example of like, why not just have the guy talk in his native language and then dub it over and play a video.
Motorized. Now's your chance to join in. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to The Crew 2, home of Modern Nation.
Interesting trick here. They showed you a trailer, and then they're showing you another trailer. How long can this game be? See, I feel like a proper racing game with just car racing would have maybe 100 races or more. But a game like this may only have like 16 or 20 races for cars, and then 16 or 20 races for every other type of vehicle. And you can't for a second get the feel of how the game will play through a trailer, so whatever they're showing you might as well be a cutscene, even if it is in-game footage.
Forge your own path off-road through the striking beauty of nature.
What we'll want to look here is to see if all the vehicles can show up in one specific point, because there might be different maps for different types of vehicles.
Tame, unpredictable waves on the open ocean, rapid waters, or narrow rivers.
Open ocean in particular. I think the name of the game is called The Prototype. Was set in New York, and they did a lot of work to scale and model and make a good looking version of New York, and I think that was Ubisoft. So as we're looking at the boats with New York City in the background, I'm wondering if that's the same model,
Stunning perspective.
just getting reused. It probably has been rendered at a higher texture, but it's not a bad investment, honestly. You could probably have a middleware company do all of New York in whatever 3D modeling format you need for you, but having that under your belt and saying, we'll set over the next 20 years 10 games in New York City is not unreasonable. And at least you have a very large basis to start off with.
Thank you.
What you didn't see, though, is you didn't see any other cities, as far as I could tell, that were recognizable.
All across the country,
so
high-octane contests.
There's some other places you might want to race.
On modernation.
Didn't see
had a glimpse
like the Autobahn or any foreign
Register now
countries or areas.
for beta access or play the demo at the booth. Experience TC2 for yourself. Enjoy the ride. Thank you.
I wouldn't mind racing around DC, even though it probably is a terrible place to race. It would be educational, at the least, to see how that city is laid out streetwise. There's some other places like Boston, Seattle, LA.
We all started as one team. We all wanted to be superheroes for the same reason. You're a traitor, Tweak, and now you're with a group of super traitors. This was started by you. We aren't the ones who walked out of the fucking franchise, Mysterion. Why would the Freedom Pals help us? We send a spy, someone in our group who pretends to want to switch sides and join Freedom Pals. Somebody who they don't know very well. All that's fair in love and war, Freedom Pussies. You fucking animal.
You've got problems, new kid. Whatever you did last night got a lot of people's attention. Bad people. If you need information, just know you can rely on Call Girl.
Who the fuck is that? So I guess now any fucking asshole thinks they can be a superhero.
Like cussing in your presentation here. I know this is South Park and all, but Like, it is possible in your press conference you might have kids.
Hello, Toolshed. Toolshed is a gadget tier class visionary archetype and a butt-fucking traitor.
This game's already been delayed twice.
Get out of my head, Timmy. Your franchise is going nowhere.
It might actually get announced, get released on.
He just called us douchebags in my mind. He did? Southpaw, the fractured but home.
Available October 17th.
Yeah, but potentially will actually make that release date. So, these so far have been things we already knew about. We've seen nothing new.
There was this sort of synergy of, well, we're looking to do something interesting in VR, and we've got this division, and you're looking to sort of
so they're going to talk about VR.
What sense you have.
We've had a little bit of VR.
And put that into the context of VR.
You can, for the first time as a player, feel like you are in a movie.
That's a really good word for it. We want you to take off the gear and still feel unsettled.
Is this actually a game, or is this some movie in
Whilst
VR?
working with Ubisoft, we stumbled across some fascinating research that had begun in the late 90s. Essentially, neuroscientists had figured out a way to upload brain data, trauma, emotions, memories, to the digital space. Now,
So this
we've gone and
famous
taken the
actor
next
from
logical step, and with Ubisoft, we've recreated in
Lord of the
virtual reality
Rings,
one
wasn't
such
he?
test subject. So we'd like you to come
The Hobbit?
and experience the Walter test case for yourself. Again.
This looks like this might be a full motion video game. That would be weird if a big AAA publisher and developer. Notice they're using fake VR glasses that don't look like a Vive or an Oculus Rift or anything. They don't want to pick a side. Now you're watching TV on an oscilloscope screen, which I don't think you could do. I've never seen an oscilloscope screen that could do that many colors. Into the Home of a Mind, Spring 2018. Something new, but I don't know if any of that is actually in the game, or if this is just some kind of horror game in VR that, and again the question will always be, if it's in VR, can I play it without VR? Or do I have to?
I'm happy to share a new surprise with you. Building on the legacy of one of our most
I think
popular
Ubisoft might be the company that's
talented teams
slowly
of Ubisoft Singapore came up with
losing
something
control
really,
of its own
really
company
unique.
because
So I
Viacom
want you
keeps
to see
buying
that and enjoy it.
more and more
Thank
stock in it, and to the point where if they own too much, the laws in France will force them to take to make a hostile takeover of it. And as much as people hate Ubisoft, Viacom is kind of even worse. So you don't want that to happen. It may actually be a different company that Viacom's trying to buy, though, but I think it's Ubisoft. I'm talking too much, so I did not catch what the name of this was. It looks animated well, so it's got my attention. Although it does look like some drowning pirates, too. This would be funny if this is Hydrophobia 2 or something. Now, I've had to say several times in these streams that most pirate games don't interest me. But so far, these cutscenes have caught my attention. Ubisoft would be the most likely to be successful in a pirate game, considering Assassin's Creed Black Flag was successful. And they're going a different way with it. They're going with the monsters and skeletons and ghosts aspect, I think. So, probably historically inaccurate depiction of a female captain. I'd like to see some real gameplay here, because this looks good as a story so far, and if they told me at the end of this wasn't a game and this was just going to be a 2-hour animated movie, I would probably possibly be sold. It's called Skull and Bones, but without the idea of knowing what
120 days.
How the gameplay
That's how long
actually
the
happens.
average pirate survived a lawless life on the seas during the golden age of piracy. I'm Justin Fair, the creative director for Skull and Bones. And this is your chance to not just survive, but to climb the food chain and surpass the legend of every pirate who ever sailed the high seas. Since bringing innovative naval combat to Assassin's Creed, we at Ubisoft Singapore have set out to bring you the ultimate pirate experience.
I wonder if it's just
where we take that
going
naval
to
combat
be
to the next level.
okay. It's a tactical action game, just like what we saw with the Raving Rabbids Mario game.
Skull and Bones takes place
So
in a
that
shared
seems
system
like
of
it
world
probably
where you
won't
can
even
sail
look
solo
anything like
or form a
what
gang
we
of
saw on the
pirates with your
cutscene.
friends, and together terrorize the trade routes of the Indian Ocean. Season after season, you'll collaborate and compete with other bloodthirsty players.
Season after
Even
season,
execute
so
ruthless betrayals.
it's gonna
In
be
order to
this
become
kind of
the ultimate pirate
going
kingdom.
forever
Now I'm proud to share with you the Loot Hunt, one of
episodic
Skull and
release
Bones' 5 versus 5
MMO
team-based PvP modes.
type thing.
Right on, right?
I would say an
Just received
MMO
intel that merchant
style
convoys
game
rich with treasure are sailing just
via
off the coast of
ship
Madagascar.
pirate
But
fighting
beware,
and ship
there are other pirates also looking to plunder
is at least
the
something
undisputed
new.
waters of the Indian Ocean.
But the more he kept talking, the less interested I became in this game. I still want to see how it actually
Located on the
plays.
cusp of a bustling trade route, it is the perfect place for an ambush. Here is our gang of pirates, the Raiders, going head-to-head with a gang of rival players, the Cutthroats. Victory goes to the team with the most loot at the end of the hunt.
So pretty much forget everything you just saw in the trailer before, and let's see how this
Knowing
really
how to sail with
goes.
the wind is a pirate's most precious skill. Use the winds to increase your speed or to position yourself for tactical advantage in battle. To reap the most rewards, it is best to split up, some going inland, others keeping to the open sea. Each warship has unique strengths. The frigate's hull is reinforced, its arsenal equipped with numerous culverin cannons. The brigantine is devastating up close, with a battering ram designed to break any resistance. The sloop of war kills from afar, with its crippling long-ranged mortars and precise long 9 cannons.
Well, this isn't a 3D environment, with a kind of odd targeting. Like, is it one person per ship? Is that how this works? Are you switching between different characters?
Don't let
So there's
cloud
like
your purpose.
a
You're
person
here for
who
loot, and
shoots
so are your rivals.
and a person who drives, and
The team that escapes
I think
with the most
one
loot
player
claims victory.
probably controls those people. So while this looks interesting, you're actually
Searching
doing
for
very
more
little,
targets on the horizon.
would be my
Our
guess.
Super War spots a rival pirate ship further inland.
Of course, it's kind of this class-based thing too. So some people will be playing as battleships, some people will be playing as other kinds of ships, spy ships.
Another day, another victim. Speed, Mr. Mercy. Vamos con todo.
Our gang of pirates is now taking aim at the frigate, and it will take team coordination to take her down.
This trailer really does need the narrator. And you can't just crash into ships. It seems like there might be 3 different phases of damage a ship can
Now
have.
vulnerable, our frigate rushes in to board her.
See, this is just a cutscene that you'll get very bored of watching. And frankly, you'll probably get very bored of playing this game in total rather quickly. The idea that it would go on for seasons after seasons after seasons is pretty ridiculous, and it screams that Ubisoft is going to try to put a bunch of DLC and expansions and potentially other ways of milking money out of the players. The loot you're collecting now, almost certainly usable for upgrades or purchases of loot boxes or something. It is worth considering that with the new Chinese law about having to disclose, at least in China, what your drop rates are in loot boxes might have affected the development of new games to the point where they stopped having loot boxes. That being said, I've already seen at least one major company do the exact opposite and try to circumnavigate the law by selling you gold in game and then giving you a free loot box, so that they don't have to tell you that the loot box has a very low chance of ever actually giving you anything. Now, it's not the pirates in that game that makes me uninterested in it. It's the fact that it's Ubisoft making it, and it's really not built around what looks like a good gameplay mechanic. I may do like a 10-hour single-player version of a game like that, but I wouldn't want to do a seasonal, going on forever game. And we're now at the 3rd trailer of, I think, the same game. If not the same game, that would be even weirder. If they'd had two pirate-based ship games back to back. Clearly, this game is really gonna try to sell itself as something that it isn't. We saw 3 trailers there, and only one of them showed actual gameplay. Okay, this is weird, but not the weirdest thing we've seen so far. Automation from Just Dance. So are they coming out with a new Just Dance game? Oh. I guess they are. So on modern consoles, Xbox One X, PlayStation 4 Pro, what are you doing? Are they just doing a dance number break section? This is ridiculous. If this has nothing to do with a game, this is pretty silly. You know, if you need a break in your show, which they haven't been going that long that they should need a break, but if they needed it, they can just say intermission and be back in 5 minutes and let people run to the bathroom, get a snack. I know on a live stream that probably doesn't play great. Well, they spent some money here coordinating this, hiring dancers, hiring singers. And the only thing I can imagine this is to promote is some new music game, or just to show some pride. And here we have Red Shadow saying, extending the life of the current generation is what I assume they are coming with the current gen doing with the current gen refreshes. What current gen refreshes have they done? Because like Microsoft's was about Xbox original. So that entire dance segment is just Dance 2018. Current gen refreshes. Well, the hardware are refreshes. Yeah, I get it. But yeah, they want to extend the current generation for a long time, and there is a chance that we'll get in 2 more years.
Cowboys and Indians.
In 2 more years, we'll get an Xbox Pro and an Xbox One XX, and then heck, maybe 4 years from now, we'll get an Xbox XXX, PS4 Pro, and Xbox One X. Yeah, that's totally it. The problem is they don't have any games. They don't have enough games, and I don't know how in the world people are gonna really want to play Xbox OG games, the original Xbox games. That's gonna just look awful. And so they've got a new South Park cell phone game coming out, which I kind of have to applaud the effort. It gives them something to announce without actually having to spend any real effort there. They're certainly doing the EA and the Bethesda streams. They could have announced 2 or 3 cell phone games and made their conference feel at least a little bit full of something. Very little was announced during EA's stream and Bethesda's stream. What's this game now?
Nova took us to the stars. Each new world more incredible than the last.
This can't be that game.
We had no idea what was waiting for us.
No. This isn't.
Legion. It consumes everything in its path.
Remember, what was the name of that game last year that was overhyped? They're trying to avoid alienating consumers the way the 90s did, with high turnover of console hardware. Yeah. I think it works. But the Xbox 360 in particular went about 10 years. This is the first Toys to Life game we've seen announced. It was pretty much assumed Toys to Life was dead. So I'm very surprised to see this for the Switch. And even at this, here you have a Nintendo Switch game, Toys to Life, and it still looks too violent for little kids. It's called Battle for Atlas. It's going to be on everything except PC, if I guess. That would be my assumption, is that it'll be on everything except for PC. In the same way Lego Dimensions isn't on PC, and I don't think Skylanders was ever brought to PC.
Like many of you, I grew up in the 80s, obsessed with sci-fi, animation, comics, and of course, all the really cool toys. At Ubisoft Toronto, we built a team with a dream of bringing those amazing childhood memories back to life for a new generation.
Still have later tonight the Sony stream, and that will be Sony's opportunity to announce a lot more games that are exclusive for it, and like Xbox really didn't have too many exclusives that were mentioned that I recall. But there is also a good chance that Sony will just announce a price drop on the PS4 Pro to try to undercut it. It might be as little as $10 or $20 below what the Xbox One X cost.
And digital versions of
and
even take your game on
in all realisticness, if you until the new games that got announced, the massive amount of games that were announced on the Xbox stream, until those are out and then they're actually in the collection of people, it's gonna still be a little bit of a hard sell to convince people who have gone in and bought a PS4 or PS4 Pro to switch to an Xbox One.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Kutaz.
Does that say steed or sleep?
I'm the studio director at Ubisoft Annecy. It's a pleasure for
I will
me
say
to be back on
Ubisoft's
stage
stream is by far the worst so
after our
far.
announcement at E3 last year. And we have had since then a full year
Steep.
of support and continued
So
development
this
of
is
Steep.
a
Since the very beginning of this project,
I think it's a
we have been working with
snowboarding game.
athletes, and we have always been impressed by their passion and dedication. We learned how
We haven't seen
300 days a year
any
on
of
a
the
trampoline to
winter
practice for that
sports
perfect landing.
covered in
We
any of
learned
the
how
streams.
others make more than
Like,
6 million turns
EA
to practice
did
for the 15
Madden
they have to race in
and basketball.
These athletes,
Didn't do
they travel
NHL.
to the world to train with the best, to compete with the strongest,
Didn't do
and to
skate or
challenge
anything like
themselves
that.
with the most experienced and skilled coaches. It's truly a level of passion and dedication that goes well beyond our everyday lives.
What's
And when you
weird
talk
now
to the
is
very
naming a
best of
game like
these men and
Steep
women,
has
realize
in my
that there is
mind
something they always have in the
a
back of their minds
problem of
at
I'm
all
not
times.
sure if this game is
It's a
a
dream
snowboarding
that takes
skiing
years
game
of
or if
preparation
it's
for
just
one
an
go
adventure game where you
at
get
that
caught in the
unforgettable
snow,
moment.
because
This December,
there
our
have been
first Steep
a decent
expansion.
amount of
This is the journey you will take.
games like that
Enjoy.
too. It's probably from that movie where the guy gets caught in the snow. Let's see. Red Shadow says Nintendo came late to the Toys to Life and so did Lego. However, Disney pulled out of it. Skylanders, I think, pulled out of it, or it's dying. Yeah, Skylanders I think is still around, but it's kind of dying. Of all of them, Nintendo I think has come to the best because most of the games utilize them as a minor aspects as opposed to needing them like the others. Coming to the Toys to Life at this point is not a smart move. Red Shadow is saying it, hitting the hammer, hitting the nail dead on there. Honestly though, I hadn't, it's a perspective I hadn't considered, that the amiibos are technically a Toys to Life game at all, because I would have put them in just a different category completely in my mind. I wouldn't have even thought of them as Toys to Life, because when you look at how the figurines in LEGO Dimensions have to be placed on one of 3 different platforms, and how in LEGO Dimensions you can rebuild the vehicles because they're Legos, and how you're always interacting with them and needing to interact with them to solve puzzles in LEGO Dimensions. Amiibos are never like that. I don't think there's any game that says you can't go forward, or to solve this puzzle you have to put an amiibo on the screen, on the reader. So I started this stream talking about maturity, and we're doing South Park and all of that, and the question now that we've seen, Ubisoft hasn't been very mature in this stream, and I don't think it can act mature as a company, is going to cover this cult that's set in Montana and not offend conservatives in the United States in the same move. And like, sure, most of the liberal reporting people in New York and California won't have a problem with this game, but it seems like they're going to cause a backlash bigger than what they probably want if they're not careful.
People don't even lock their front door anymore.
We'll see what this guy has to say. Red Shadows, the only reason I do is, I think he means the only reason I have amiibos is because of Smash Brothers.
There's no cell phone signal, no 911. People are fucking scared. I had to say it.
See, cussing again.
And just up ahead, the small town of Falls End has been completely overrun.
Like, kids could be watching
survive,
this.
You and your guns for hire are gonna need to save
Can't you
it.
keep your presentation clean
that,
even if your game is rated mature?
You're gonna need to raise some hell.
Can't you bleep yourself at the very least? So there's a dog on the left, and apparently the dogs in this game have use as you hire them out to steal guns from enemies. However that works. This footage, I don't know if it's the stream or what, looks slow.
Town looks like a war zone.
It looks like it's running at a low frame rate.
Where do you want me?
So are we going to be climbing water towers a lot? Well, you just put an AI character. Oh, Red Shadow clarified. The only reason I consider Amiibo toys Toys to Life is in Smash. Well, what happens in Smash Brothers when you put an Amiibo on? Doesn't it just unlock a character or give you an outfit? Far Cry is the only thing going for the stream, and I don't even play the series or own a PS4 or Xbox One. Well, yeah, I haven't played any of the Far Cry games either, and I hear Far Cry 2 might have been good or might have been bad. Your dog's gonna be named. Do we need to go back to the old mentality where if you see a dog in a video game, it's gonna die by the end? See, I would want to play, I think, one of the Far Cries and maybe Far Cry Primal, Far Cry 4, and maybe I would go back after that and play 3. I don't know if I'd ever make it to 2 and 1. Let's see, Red Shadow says I'm gonna buy the Mario Rabbids, but that's because Mario. Red Shadow, I think you might be a sold on to the Nintendo fandom. I was a Super Nintendo fan too. Like, you don't have to buy everything Mario just because it's Mario. In Smash, he says, he responds to my question, there's a delay, so things are out of order. In Smash, they become trainable AI that you can beef up and have actually placed in tournaments if trained right. Oh, I don't know that. Let's see, the screen's gone black. Yeah, they shouldn't do that. They should not show trailers with pure black screens. Particularly when the Ubisoft stream is not doing that well. It's not happening.
Hey, the fuck? I ain't got no master, but I do
No.
have your little toy.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 is not really happening. This is a joke. Don't believe what you're seeing. This is a lie. They've been teasing and promising Beyond Good and Evil 2 for 10 years.
Don't do late.
Monkey's got a date.
Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me 10 years in a row, shame on you.
What?
Yeah, and I know the creator of Beyond Good and Evil. Red Shadow says, I collect video games and anything Mario retains value. Or Nintendo for that matter. Yeah. Okay, to each your own, Red Shadow, if you want to.
In this fucking city. After that fucking bad.
There's a lot of cussing going on here. Is this really not Beyond Good and Evil? Is this a different game that just happens to look very much like Beyond Good and Evil?
Easy peasy, bro. Bang, bang, motherfuckers.
Way too much cussing. Way too much cussing. It's like little kids cussing for the first time, trying to prove that they're mature. This is all cutscenes too, so unless this is gonna be like a Final Fantasy game where most of it is cutscenes and very little gameplay, what we're seeing here is not super helpful. Honestly, the Raving Rabbids will probably be a collectible, considering it's the first appearance of a gun in a Mario game, to my knowledge.
Let's see what we've got. Moksha, just as Yama described it. True freedom lies beyond.
I have no idea what I'm looking at. I thought it was Beyond Good and Evil too, but it's seems totally different. It is called Beyond God and Evil. I was right. It's not happening. Don't for a second believe it is. If it even does come out, it's just gonna be like the Shadow of Colossus game that took forever to come out. That wasn't that good when it finally did come out. Not Shadow of the Colossus, but from the creators of Shadow of the Colossus. Here we have Michelle Ancel, who has been.
First of all, I want to say a big
do you count? Retro asked, do you count the? What is that? Geno's canon in Super Mario RPG.
These teams behind us.
I
want also to say.
I think you might have proved me wrong, Red Shadow. I don't remember the Geno's canon in Super Mario RPG. But
thanks, Eve, for making this happen. This is amazing.
That probably is.
A special thanks to the fans of Beyond Good and Evil
first instance of a projectile weapon, but if you want to get pedantic, this might be the first instance of a handgun, hand cannon.
Almost.
So welcome to System 3. Our story takes place before the birth of Jade, in a multi-ethnic, multicultural human society in a distant solar system.
So it's a prequel.
It is a time when corporations create hybrids in their labs and enslave them to colonize the stars.
See, I would have to see Geno's canon in Super Mario RPG, how it attacks. If it projects the projectile up at an arc, I would call it a cannon and not a handgun. If it's held in a hand and fired directly, then you're right.
Through territories as spectacular as they are dangerous.
Red Shadow says it's like the star cannon, kind of like Barrett's arm in Final Fantasy VII. Man, you are using every reference that I haven't seen. I haven't played any Final Fantasy games.
Discover unknown lands by ourselves or with friends. And we want you.
But it sounds like you're right, Red Shadow. That might be. It's still this Raving Rabbids will be the first instance of a Raving Rabbids in the Mario universe, which might turn out to be a very consistent thing. Like we may see them in the next Mario Party, the next Mario Kart. Hopefully they stay out of the core Super Mario games.
Join us. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations, you guys.
They should right now bring upon the stage every single news reporter and fan who's obsessed of Beyond Good and Evil 1 and just say thank you for loving and hyping this show.
And I think video games can help us to grow and to get better. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Now the most Ubisoft ironic thing here would be they bring everybody on the team from the team onto this, and then a week or two from now they fire the whole team and shut down the studio.
Everyone here in the room and those who are watching us from home, thank you for listening today and thank you for playing our games. So to all the teams at Ubisoft, thank you for your incredible imagination.
So they end on Beyond Good and Evil 2, and now they're gonna do the Assassin's Creed Origin footage, which I'd like to see.
So thank you very much, and have a great E3.
How's the stream going, Red Shadow? By the way, I think I finally got my streaming settings right. Does it look good? Is it having loading issues? Is it streaming at a high resolution or like 1080p 60? Like right now I've got the bitrate set to what the minimum was asked for. I might be able to double it.
It's not over. The show is not over, folks. We're going to send you back to the home base behind the theater. We have 30 minutes of an exclusive, what is it? I lost it. Assassin's Creed Origins exclusive gameplay. 30 minutes right now. Let's go back to home base outside the theater. Thank you for watching. It's not over. Stay tuned.
Holy shit!
Oh my God.
Hey there, folks. What a show and what an ending.
Just looking it up online.
That was amazing.
Fantastic. It was jam-packed with great games, and we've got more great games to show you right now, specifically Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm Chris Waters, joined by Hanny Duong, Carl Lua, and Ash Ismail from the Assassin's Creed Origins team. And let's get right into it, fellas, here. Without further ado, we've got 30 minutes of exploring the open world in Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yes, for sure. So just to start off, so we have the context. This is the demo we have here at E3 that we're letting people play. Just so everyone knows, this is a living game. We still have a ways to go to finish off the game and completely polish it. So we might see some hiccups along the way. But
see, I'm looking it up, and they say they call it the Geno Flash in Super Mario RPG. It's the final most powerful attack Geno learns, and I'm seeing a picture, and he turns himself into a cannon.
His gazelle
his gazelle skills. And here
Geno transforms into a cannon and shoots a ball of energy at all the opponents. I think in Miyamoto's head, he wouldn't call that a gun.
She's a beauty.
And
she's a beauty.
So
she's a great scout.
I don't know if that would count.
Right now, Carl's using
count really. I think this might actually be the first instance of a handgun or an actual gun.
Now, the question might be, why would someone infiltrate such a location outside of quests?
So this new Assassin's Creed Origins
that we can focus on the world and what happens with the world. Later on, there's going to be more
looks like it has some missions and infiltration settings that are a lot more like Assassin's Creed 1 than some of the later games where you could just kind of run towards the enemy, and or they had very specific ways in which they wanted you to go, and it wasn't that open world. Red Shadow says, everything looks good. I will say I'm at work, so the internet here sucks, and I can't stream 1080p, but everything is nice and clean. Good. Then I will leave everything as is. That's his final. Usually, though, throughout the game, his hands fold down and he shoots. Oh, okay. Well then, I'll refer to
with enemies that are level 25, and you'll see that the feedback's slightly different. This is to really clarify to people levels matter, gear matters.
The thing about Super Mario RPG is the same thing that will be in the Rabbids is they're practically the same concept. They're going to be set in this world that doesn't really count to the main canon of the Super Mario world.
Why not? Because
so explosive barrels in a game set in ancient Egypt.
Speaking of which, my feet are on fire.
That seems crazy.
We suffer for your entertainment, viewers.
This is the live equivalent of method acting. Is, you know, Bayek is warm right now. You think that hood is like, you know, making him cool?
That hood is warm, and I will say for the fans out there who.
Oh, the
and
line.
This looks kind of like
well, it is a distraction.
He's been caged up for a while.
Shadow of Mordor, where there were points where you could free animals.
All the animals, they have a full life in the world. They have needs, they have wants. Animals, you know, they hunt, they sleep, they find shade. So in this case,
there's a slight dangers here.
A cage, and at this point, it becomes an opportunity for the player. You can't always guarantee it, but
a slight danger here of Shadow of Mordor taking away the elements of an Assassin's Creed game.
There you go, Carl.
Well done.
Assassin's Creed games are going to have to find something that's unique unique to their game.
This is something that's really important in Assassin's Creed Origins. It's gear.
It's a gear-based, full-on RPG where you level up with hunting.
No real lions were harmed.
Out of the frying pan into the fire.
And they're talking a lot over this
and
demo.
we saw that it was a blue bow, which means that it's a common weapon. So rarities do matter in this game. The more rare the equipment is, the
This
more
is very confusing. How are you gonna play a story-based game, which I assume Assassin's Creed Origins is, and have a loot system like this? They're gonna want you to play sections over and over again, so you grind out for better gear. How do you do that and still tell a story?
Devastating, overpowering attacks. And you can build
are they literally gonna try for a new game plus in an Assassin's Creed game?
This is part of the depth of the combat that we want players to mess around
If that's the
with.
case, then I hope there's no collectibles in the game at all. If they're gonna shoot for maybe a shorter length in the new game plus idea.
So this guy's a commander. That's the gold icon.
Technically, in Assassin's Creed games, you could have.
So killed.
Here we found a second bow.
You could have replayed memories, certainly, but
military locations are great
very
for
few
finding
people, to my knowledge, ever
and new
did.
gear.
Usually, if there was a reason to replay it, it was because you were trying to get a bunch of collectibles and flags, and then it wasn't worth the effort.
Ability points, so we'll check that out in a second.
Check it out now.
Yeah, and we found a shield.
All kinds of skill trees.
Right, so here we're looking at sort of the skill tree, and I'm seeing 3 different branches.
This is not an Assassin's Creed
it's
game
more
at
of a
this
graph.
point.
What that means is there are flavors. So on the one side, what you see here is the Master Seer. This is more the abilities that are aligned with manipulation. So manipulating the environment, animals, and NPCs. In the center, we have the warrior aspect, which is really delving deep into fight. And
I often wonder, Red Shadow talked about how he's watching it work. I wonder how many people, as a percentage, around the United States and around Europe and around China, how many people can actually get away with watching streams at work, and how many people are heavily monitored and explicitly forbidden and stopped from doing that.
Super powerful archetype that you wish to play.
You just got to chase down a fluorescent outfit and you're good to go.
So what kind of player?
Red Shadow says rumors have Beyond Good and Evil 2 on the Switch.
We go for the enhanced warrior bow.
Enhanced warrior bow. The warrior bow is super cool.
Well, you know, if Beyond Good and Evil 2 looked like the 10-plus-year-old Beyond Good and Evil 1, it would probably run just fine. But with the trailers and the graphics we saw in the cutscene there, I'm not sure it would look that great on the Switch. But there probably will be a Switch version of it. There's a decent chance.
It depends on the mood.
To give them a control over that.
Yeah.
So here we can see that Carl put on a new bow. You also had a new shield. Put on the shield. Put on the shield.
New everything. New bow, new shield.
Already gonna be better. Let's have a look.
When you have a system,
the shield adds to the player's resistance. Okay. It was quite significant, and we can see it has a property which is that when you block.
Having a system of equipment and needing the equipment to upgrade tells me that you're going to eventually run into enemies, or you should eventually run into enemies that would require you to have better equipment. I have yet to see in any of the trailers of Assassin's Creed Origins any instance where you don't kill something instantly. And that was a problem in Brotherhood too, is that technically in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which I recently played, so I remember it, you bought increases to your armor to give yourself more health bar, but the only real reason you did that is because you wanted the ability to fall from a further distance and not die, not because the enemies you were actually fighting required it. Here's a good perspective to point out my question about the boat battles. If there really is naval warfare in an ancient Egyptian game, it's gonna be very odd. There will be no cannons, there will not be any big ships, and there's not gonna be that much water either.
And
Red Shadow responds to my question about watching at work, and he says, if YouTube isn't blocked, it's free game. Twitch, however, is blocked.
So here we can see some boats in the distance. This bigger ship here.
Well, it gets even weirder because now, unless you're not allowed to have your cell phone with you, depending on what your job is, so many people have their cell phones with them all the time anyways, and they can just watch it off of the cell networks. If worse comes to worse, it's not as much about the technology being blocking the streaming service. It's about what happens when your boss walks behind you and sees you're watching YouTube. And I've been in some places where the boss is watching YouTube too and doesn't care and lets everybody do whatever they want. And I've been in places where they've used it as grounds to try to fire people. Red Shadow at his job says he can't have cell phones, so he has to use the local network.
To take a break, to actually refill on some of their stocks. And so here we can see there's actually a guard on the other side who's been killed by what? I don't know, but
I imagine as cell phones are now completely ubiquitous and everybody has them, fewer and fewer jobs will exist where they can get away with saying no cell phones. People will try, but eventually they'll give up.
And the sort of the reach of the longer weapons is going to affect how you are in combat.
Exactly.
So we have the worst part of Assassin's Creed, in my opinion, though, is the combat, particularly the early Assassin's Creed games. Like 1 and, well, 2 in particular is really, really bad about getting into fights with a group of guards and then having to struggle for about 3 minutes.
You know, I feel like you're engaging it on its
with the guards, because not because your weapons are even particularly weak, but because the guards can counter and parry in Assassin's Creed 2.
You know what? Now you've gotten him angry. He just wanted to say
So he's taking on a hippo, which is probably one of the most toughest creatures in the game.
No, it's no actual.
Let's see, Red Shadow says, true, I only watch when I'm on the night shift. Currently, it's 11:30 at night, and there's only 2 of us. That makes me boss right now. Well, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the boss.
So animals. So the fauna of Egypt.
Okay. Throw that guy off his boat.
Yeah. Poor guy.
So this Sorry, buddy. There's a hippo just over there. Careful, huh?
You'll use the corpse as a float. You'll be fine.
Carl style. This is Carl
style. What we want to see here in this stream is
Egypt, it's very well known for its fauna.
How fast is it to move in a boat versus how fast is it to swim?
And then we have to say, well,
and it'd also be nice to know if animals can attack you and pull you out of the boat.
Some of your gear. So that's.
Oh! You're
So
just a ship
just
starter,
crashed
aren't you,
into
Carl?
another ship.
It's all right. These are military dudes. Put
He's on fire now.
Okay. Ooh, fire on a boat. That's a recipe for disaster. I like it.
So if you want a fire arrow, it seems like you have to actually find a point that's on fire.
Oh, now the boat's on fire.
So here's what naval combat's gonna look like. It doesn't go into a different interface. You can either crash into things or pull out your bow and arrow and try to start things on fire.
They are protectors of Egypt. They're protectors of the Egyptian way of life, and Egyptians have a high respect for Magi's, and they go to them for help. This is actually feeds into the questing system, actually. So, as a Magi,
so there's questing system.
You do you, Bayek. You do you. Set boats on fire.
So does this game even have a story mode?
Like it's probably his livelihood. He's like, look, man, you can take this.
Is it a 5-hour story? Then a bunch of different quests you can do forever?
But he'll wait a bit for now.
He's watching me.
Like we've seen this in other Assassin's Creed games, though, where there's a bunch of side quests.
Exactly.
Certainly, but
so here,
usually the side quests only unlock at certain points in the story.
Here, what we wanted to show.
Now, is that tower that they just flew by an assassin tower that you can take control over? And do you have to take those towers out to change the influence of the area?
Very difficult fight because
I don't know if this game is going to have influence.
Eventually, by going through quests, by completing locations in the world, you will level up enough. So I would recommend just
Carl.
Carl,
what's your plan here?
Are you going to take on this challenge?
Let's. Oh, this guy's. Oh, he looks vulnerable. So let's try a headshot.
He's alone.
Let's try a headshot. See how much damage it does. Oh goodness, it's not going to do a lot.
He's trying to swat a fly.
Yeah, he is.
Oh.
He is tough.
Yeah,
just a little scratch.
Yeah.
Get up on him, all right.
So here's a good fight where we'll see how the equipment really does affect.
He can take him. Honestly, he can do it.
So
Carl's been practicing.
this is
very good at the game.
Oh goodness.
kind of an example of what Assassin's Creed 2 had trouble with.
It's okay.
Yeah, 2 hits from me. Okay.
So look, the game is live.
So we don't know.
This is real gameplay.
We don't know if there's randomly generated side quests or if they are specifically made side quests. I would think they were specifically made side quests that you'll probably have to do just to be at the right level so you don't die like him.
In front of everybody.
I've learned my lesson and I'll just keep
And the load screen didn't change there, so the Animus idea is probably still in the game.
Yeah, so
This probably wouldn't have been a bad time if they totally tried to get rid of that element. And maybe they did, and they just kept the same loading screen.
He's very handsome.
A beautiful horse.
Yeah.
If they got rid of all of the concept of the ancient aliens and Animus and just said, look, some assassins, while their genetic memory might be passed on down to Desmond or whoever is important now in the future, they're not going to have any knowledge of that or interaction with that, so we don't need to show any of that. Let's just tell a story about Bayek and only Bayek.
There we go. So we have this beautiful black horse here.
Does the camel
Black
have
stallion.
a spit attack? Because I hear they spit.
A spit attack, no, but you can rear with the horse. You can rear with the horse. The camel.
Get the hooves in there.
It'll be interesting to see. We need to see how fast this horse moves. What's its fastest pace? Because when I was playing Brotherhood recently too, that was a consistent problem where the horses didn't feel fast
So here we
enough.
found Umeria, which is a port village. Actually, maybe I'll ask
I would
go to the map.
probably just
Go to the map, just
off
to
the
kinda
top
give
guess that
a general spacing
there's
of the world. So this is the lake that we've seen. If we keep zooming out,
there's a scene or sequence where we get to the Library of Alexandria and possibly either steal a book or knowledge from it, or start it on fire and burn it down, or cause the riot that started it on fire and burned it down.
move around just to show it's.
But this might not be in the right time frame for
It's
that.
absolutely massive.
Up to Alexandria in the north.
Yeah, Alexandria. There's the Giza Desert, Canal Delta.
They almost
Giza Plateau,
spookily
Memphis,
confirmed it
Memphis,
for
and
me
it goes
there.
on. Then there's Fayum, Crocodilopolis down in the south. The world. Yes.
They might also have
I like that place.
one of
Thieves Land. What's going on? Does anybody ever go there?
Really honest.
One other of the world's wonders besides the
so just to give an idea that we, this is a country
besides the pyramids,
such a majestic
they might
setting,
even
and
have
dreamed of
two.
going to this place, and so when we
Like
started,
if they get to
and we
Babylon, they
decided
could
we're
have the
going to Egypt, we
Babylonian
understood that
hanging
it was gonna be,
gardens, and then
a labor of love. It was
I
gonna-
think
it's
there's
gonna push us to develop
a
new technologies to build
statue
such
on the shore
crazy big
somewhere.
world, and then to even populate the world with all these
I wouldn't
people that actually
wouldn't be
have
surprised
agendas
also
and
if they
purpose.
get out of
For example, these people over here are
they
being attracted by an event.
move
If Carl would look at
outside
it.
of the near Egyptian
Egypt
area.
is hard. Egypt, it was a tough life.
Let's investigate.
Priest, what has the boy done to deserve this? This has nothing to do with you. Back away. I got the boy will get
So.
what he deserves.
I serve so bad. I serve so bad. I am a slave.
Boy, what are you accused of?
I was charged with ferrying 2 gold sorbets to Constantinople. Just out of bounds, my ship sank by the lighthouse. I almost drowned.
never know what
Statues were lost. I didn't steal them.
Silence! And you, step back. Wait, do not threaten.
So here's an instance where they're going to put modern morals into the into a very ancient time.
Bit of a taste of Bayek's personality and his attitude towards these
And
masked
see, that's
priests that abuse
just
their
not gonna
power.
ring true.
And this is a side quest, so our players can expect.
They've
this type of
taken
quality, cinematics,
the
great
history
characters,
of the real assassins and done whatever they please to do with it. I guess that gets right back to maturity in Ubisoft. They'll just do whatever they please, and whether it's historically accurate or
for
not.
other streams, for YouTubers out there. So for now, we'll continue with playing through the world.
Yeah, if you folks are just joining us, we're playing Assassin's Creed Origins on the Xbox One X. With Ash and Carl from the
I didn't know this was
Origins
Xbox
dev
One
team. I'm
X.
Chris, this is Hanny, and
Seems like you have to be in the hiding spot. No hay bales, of course,
explorations here
in
as
Egypt.
Senu scouts out some more locations.
She's a good girl.
So here, actually, I'm gonna ask Carl to not stealth this one. The reason we're showing these different locations, different camps and warps is actually we wanted to show a bit of stealth, we want to show a bit of fight, so I'm going to ask Carl.
So it feels like there will be a significant number of camps.
Carl.
Okay, let's give it a try. Okay, here I come, out the bushes.
Are you going in with the spear?
I'll just shoot him.
I have so many Assassin's Creed games I need to catch up on now. I am trying to cover 2 per year, and I'm up to Brotherhood. And so I have, in theory, I should play Revelations, Assassin's Creed 3, Assassin's Creed 4, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed 5, which I think there's a 5. And then this one is called Origins, so it's not even a numbered game. And I suspect that they're going to come back and have a next number in the series.
Nice job, Carl. You killed it.
Thank you.
All right, now give us a little broader context. Who are these dudes that Bayek is dispatching with such panache?
So this is we're in the era of the Ptolemies. So these are Ptolemaic guards. They work
general
for
guards.
the people that Bayek is going after, and when I say going after, effectively Bayek is unraveling a mystery, and he doesn't know who.
He's going after apparently everybody who's in charge of Egypt.
To this place, he's actually looking for a contact.
All the
to gain
Pharisees.
some info to lead him to eventually.
And none of the assassins have ever really cared about killing guards.
Who work for these people. Bayek being an Egyptian,
now,
a Magi,
this point,
very good alignment with these people.
there probably won't be a lot of people with bows and arrows on the roofs, and even if they do have bows and arrows on the roof, they won't be as bad as later time frame games where there were guards with guns and would set off alarms and have a bunch of people chase you for long periods.
So we're gonna do
and you end up in sequences where you get spotted and then you have to run away. We haven't seen anything like that so far.
That rock didn't have any like obvious handholds on it. Like, what's the approach to climbing in Origins?
So the climbing, actually before we synchronize, just to look around.
So pretty.
So the climbing in Origins, it's so first we've revamped the controls, the fluidity of the character. We've gotten a lot of positive feedback already from the people who've played the build that feel like the assassin is really responsive, listening to them, doing what they want. And we pushed that to the
always
climbing
been
where
an
we said,
issue
you know
in
what,
Assassin's Creed
we
games.
should be able to climb any surface we want. So we've created a tech for Bayek when he's climbing to be able to put his hands and footholds into crevices and so on any surface, so effectively to be able to climb anywhere. We wanted, you know,
so you can just climb anything, any flat wall apparently, and that means it probably won't animate that well.
Go there at some point if we wish to, swimming, by boat, by camel, whatever. And there's secrets up there for us. There's really
I
cool
love
stuff.
secrets.
There's really cool
Well,
discoveries,
I don't think Bayek will have a parachute or anything. So, anytime you're in a higher place, which you probably won't be into too many high places because the buildings won't be that tall. So, it probably won't be too big of an issue to not have parachutes or a glider or something.
You mentioned earlier, the fog clears by you just traveling through the area.
Yeah, exactly. So we wanted to keep the
So
idea
you
of
don't
the,
even really need to
the
synchronize, it seems like.
As an homage to the series.
Leap of faith, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, so sync points are just there,
but just to give a
just
flavor
out of
the
his story.
Villages are great places to pick up quests, to go to shops, and obviously there are many quests inside villages. These are hubs of content.
So, unlike Brotherhood, where you sent out your fellow assassins to do quests, it seems like you're going to go into a village, pick up a quest, and do it yourself.
Yeah, I'd recommend fleeing maybe.
So, earlier Assassin's Creed games, getting those two targeted would have caused a group of 4 other guards to run around the corner and start running towards you. And by the time you were done dispatching these two, probably another group of 4
oh my god, deadly. Beautiful.
4 guards would have shown up.
Shoots 5 arrows at once. So when we talk about attributes and properties, you can actually find bows that you can actually have more.
See, there's somebody, some civilian to the right of him running there, but.
So this compound here, it's actually part of a quest. Don't want to ruin the quest.
This is noticeably fewer people.
Confiscated, and Bayek will eventually have to help those people.
Usually they're surrounded by people just walking up and down and groups that you can blend into. I haven't seen any indication he has the ability to blend at all.
On sort of, you know, Assassins have had ranged weapons in the past before, but with the bows in Origins, you guys are really trying to expand that.
Yeah, it's a full-blown third-person shooter on that element. It's we really wanted that the playstyles we push, so range combat, melee, stealth.
In Pacific Daylight Time. Let me double check that. Make
that,
sure we're not running into the stream of.
Pushed ourselves to develop these gameplays. The shooting feels great.
Yeah.
The bows feel amazing.
We're not anywhere close to.
There's a bunch of bows we haven't shown. There's the Predator bow, which is kind of like a sniper.
To the time for the Sony stream.
This is such a great way to wrap this up. Like we just saw a cat in ancient Egypt. Come on,
in ancient
guys.
Egypt, and you know what? Cats are very important in ancient Egypt.
Can you pet it?
So here, look. So see, okay, look. So systemically, you know, as I said, animals really live in this world, and so this cat has, for some reason, an affection towards Bayek.
He loves you, or she.
Or she's sticking around.
Reciprocate.
Look at, she loves them. She loves them.
Carl,
as I said, we've put a lot of effort.
So
on
6 p.m.
and what they do
at
in the world. Yeah.
I love that she
Pacific
appeared near the
time.
end of this stream.
Is the Sony stream?
Yes.
Ash, this has been so great, Carl. Thank you for showing off the game. There's a lot more to come this
So
week.
let me double check
but
that.
it must be really exciting for you guys.
Thanks for chatting, Red Shadow. I know,
for us. It's absolutely
as I was talking more about Assassin's
the
Creed,
game
you
and have people play it, get their
didn't really
feedback,
have anything to
see
say
their
there.
excitement. I'm super proud of the team
but
and what we've achieved.
thanks for coming on. Maybe
to the Singapore
maybe if
team,
it's
to the
not
Montreal
too
teams,
late
all the teams
or
that have
early
worked on
for
this game,
you,
all over many
you
people
can
supporting
hop
us.
back at the
It's a really
6
wonderful,
o'clock
exciting
time for
us, and I can't wait
the
for our
Sony
fans
stream.
to play this.
Absolutely, and they'll get to play it at E3 here, but later this year, October 27th is the release date.
Yes, October 27th. So October 27th on PS4 Pro, PS4, Xbox, PC, and of course a launch title for Xbox One X.
Fantastic. Well, if you folks want more Assassin's Creed
Red Shadow, you don't have to admit that you walked away to make dinner. Did I miss anything? Not really. Just some rather different design to Assassin's Creed Origins, it seems. They pretty much don't care about synchronizing. It's a full RPG where you buy different, you find different qualities of weapons. Apparently there's gonna be some way to grind out and get levels and work with all of that. So my European account is still struggling to on Hearthstone here, is still struggling to get all the things that need to be done. Win 10 games in standard play and get everything up to level 10. Let's do a card pack opening since I've got 3 here, and then I guess we'll do 4 packs right now, and then that will give me 5 packs between my Asian account and my European account. It's kind of pointless to even open card packs for the other accounts. They give me a tiny amount of cards, but hardly gonna be like my America's account, which has way more cards. People can step away from my streams all they want as long as they leave the stream going. I kind of wonder if maybe YouTube knows if you mute it, so maybe unplug your microphone, your speakers, instead of muting it through the icon. And probably YouTube knows if you walk away and you don't push a button after a while too, but it's still better than stopping the stream and restarting the stream. In fact, that's a terrible way to watch a stream anyways, because you might have connection issues. Well, that's it for the Ubisoft stream. In general, not anything amazing as an announcement, unless I'm going to include Beyond Good and Evil 2 as an actual game that is actually going to come out. If it actually gets released, then I guess that was the one surprise announcement. But everything else we kind of knew about already. Ubisoft didn't do anything terrible, but they were very immature throughout the whole thing. A lot more cussing than any of the other streams, which only encourages fears, rightfully, where they encourages my fears with Far Cry 5 being offensive. Red Shadow asks, I've heard a lot of streamers talk about multiple accounts. What's the point? Well, if some multiple accounts, it depends on what context they're talking about. Some multiple accounts are what they call sock puppet accounts or sock accounts, where they make a bunch of fake accounts for themselves, then watch themselves and try to give themselves more views that way. And arguably in the early days of YouTube, it very possibly got some streamers up into the eyes of YouTube's algorithm to the point where they started by cheating the system and eventually got enough viewers to watch it. Theoretically, YouTube can recognize that and stop that and wouldn't be counting sock puppet accounts towards your views. Or so it's probably these days a waste of time and it's definitely a violation of YouTube's terms. The other thing streamers do, more popular streamers talk about, is having multiple accounts for different things, because if you're a Minecraft streamer, a lot of people give you negative feedback when you do when you're streaming something different. So you might be like Captain Sparkles, a Minecraft streamer who has also interest in music, so he makes a second music account. That also gives him the ability to continue to grow subscribers and count subscribers twice, because fans of his Minecraft and music will subscribe to 2 different accounts. Then he can combine his total number of subscribers together and say, well, now I have twice as many subscribers. Redstone clarifies, not YouTube, Hearthstone. So everything I said up to this point, while true, wasn't really his question. Why would you have multiple accounts on Hearthstone? The only reason I could think you'd have multiple accounts on Hearthstone is so that you could play yourself and get the watch and learn and challenge a friend. And I guess I technically do have a second account on my cell phone of Hearthstone just to do that. But that's really the only reason. Unless you're such a crazy multitasker that you can stream and play 2 different games of Hearthstone at once, which wouldn't be that hard actually, because a lot of times you do end up with playing somebody on ranked and they just decide to lose connection or stop playing, and then you've got that 30-45 seconds of them just sitting there not doing anything and it wasting your time. So I could see why you might have, if you had 2 or 3 monitors plugged into your computer and 2 or 3 instances of Hearthstone running with 2 or 3 different accounts, that I think probably sometimes people also say a different account and they mean just a different region on Hearthstone, because on the launcher you can choose different regions. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm going through the European region and through the Asian region and doing the setup, which is way too long, so that if people want to friend me and they're on the Asian region servers, that I can actually play them at least with some basic things. Redstone says, cause you mentioned your Americas versus your Asian versus European. Yeah, at the very at the launcher that I can't really show you, where the button is that's about right here that you click to play Hearthstone on the launcher. There's a pull down menu and it says Americas and European and Europe and Asia, and it's the same login, it's the same battle.net login and everything, but you can go to a different server, but you have to start all over again. So I'm on the European server right now, and the number of cards I have are just very basic. In comparison, I have 23 pages of cards, most of which I only have one of. The only reason I have Cthulhu is because you get it for free. I have 43 cards when in my regular account. So 20 extra pages of 8 cards per page, probably with a lot of duplicates. So even though people who friend me here, this is the European account, so I have gotten a decent amount of people who've wanted to play me, want to play me. I could only play them with some very basic decks. Like, I haven't even made all of them. I've made 9 of 18, and I just recently unlocked the ability to make any more of them. It takes about 3 days of an average player's worth of time. And the other thing is, if I want to get Nexramus on these accounts, I need to earn 700 gold so I can buy the first week of Nexramus before that becomes banned and is no longer available for purchase. Ideally, eventually I'll just work on it. With the new update too, when I do regular Hearthstone streams, I may very well come into the European account and do the 3 days worth of daily quests on the European account, and come into the Asian account and have 3 more daily quests. So I potentially might do more of that, although maybe not, because I have tons of time already that I have to spend doing daily quests on just the Americas account. Redstone goes, yes, I've seen it, but if your cards aren't the same on each server, why would you want to grind again? Wow, I can understand to experience something again, but grinding in a card game twice seems extreme. Oh no, it is entirely insane. It is way too extreme, and my intention is to not really grind too much. I want to get 700 gold, get Nexramus, and then that's kind of it. Hopefully they won't ever release any more adventures, and so I won't need to earn 700 gold. The only reason is because I'm a YouTuber. There's no reason whatsoever for somebody else to want to ever log into the region that's other than probably Americas. I just think everybody should play on Americas. Asian people should play in Americas. The European people should play in Americas. It's going to be a much better experience if everybody was on the same servers. And it's insane that Blizzard has it set up like this. But here we have Mahmood right now, and he's been on the chat, and he wanted to play me, and so I want to try to be nice to people who get on the chat and are watching my streams. So I'm trying to get the account at least set up enough so if he wants to send me a friendly challenge and show off his cards, I can at least accept the challenge and play some really bad basic cards. But clearly I wouldn't be able to beat him. It's just for the fans, really. I'm just doing it for the fans. Anyways, that's going to be it for this stream. We're going long considering they finished the Ubisoft stream. We'll be back for the Sony stream. Again, thanks for talking to me, Redstone. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos because all of that helps. When you subscribe, click the notification bell to help me out there. Make sure you get notifications. If you want to friend or follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.